resisting and not doing so. Yeah, gotcha. And you have a lot on your plate. So, you came back from a retreat, what, barely a week ago, 10 days ago? So, yeah, exactly. And so, yes. So, a big part for me of the standing wave yoga has been about learning to find the retreats in the moments, whether it's the minute or the 5 minutes, and learning how to bring that into my life, learning how to bring that into my day, and having times where when we were building out on the land where I would go to work in the morning, I'd have to be there 6:30 or something, or I'd start out there when we were building and we'd start at 7 and then come in, go to work, shower, come in, go to work, or start at work in the morning when I was serving in the mornings, and then shower, go to the next job or the next cleaning. There's these periods. And so being able, and, I was a young woman, and had that kind of energy. And yet there's this place of the buzzword these days, the self-care place, how to take care of ourselves through all of that so that we can thrive in it. And so it might be 2 minutes or 3 breaths or whatever it is to bring us back to that place and to once again find that energy for the next and for the next. And then the subtlety beyond that is getting a sense and being able to discern when it's too much. And sometimes we spill over into too much to find out what enough was, right? And so it's a constant play. That said, I'm going to invite, I see Jeannie has a blanket underneath. I have a pillow. Let's find a gentle seated position today. What that is for you. The gentle seated position is here. Brothers, this is the excruciating position. So find your position. Closing the eyes. And bringing the awareness to your nose, to your nostrils, that part of the anatomy through which the breath flows when we are not breathing through our mouths. And just let it go, watching the natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath through the nostrils. There's all manner of Hatha yoga practices. And it's good for us to find out what resonates for us. The common thread to all the practices, and some put more emphasis than others on it, yet the basis is the breath. We have an opportunity to put our awareness on the breath at any given moment. That can be the basic break throughout your day. You often hear of practices such as if you feel emotion of some sort come up, oftentimes we hear it in relation to anger. Count to 10. For myself, it's 3 breaths. If I'm feeling indecisive, overwrought, scared, exuberant, exhilarated, I can check in with 3 breaths through my nostrils, in and out, and see if I can feel what's going on. Can I touch the whirlpool of love that I already am? Can I learn to listen to the voice that tells me I'm not lovable? And see if I can recognize it for what it is. Simply something that someone told me. And I believed them in that moment. What if I could let it go? To come back to the whirlpool of love that I already am. You've chosen to give yourself the gift of this Hatha yoga practice today. Showing up and putting your body on the floor in love of self. I can be here to guide you with the words, the reminders to the breath, the reminders to consciousness in the present moment. And it's up to you to walk through the door, to be willing to look at yourself honestly. Sometimes that honesty simply means being honest about where we're avoiding. Perhaps we're not ready. Perhaps this isn't the moment. Perhaps we need more breath before we dive into that well. Simply notice the flow of the natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath. And you can hear what you need in any given moment. Yes, and in every given moment, sure. So the Hatha Yoga is an opportunity to get into the body. In the spiritual practices, it's a practice of waking down, willing to feel all that's going on, willing to be with the discomfort, willing to learn to discern between the discomfort and the trauma, the possibility for injury, so that we can widen and move our comfort zone in our bodies. And in so doing in our bodies, we can also expand the ability to move out in the comfort zone in our minds. And the breath is the tool that we utilize to bridge thought to feeling. And now let go of all these words and feel your breath. Let that awaken an awareness in the body of your alignment. One of the guiding principles of standing wave, really of all Hatha yoga styles. Attention to alignment. Is your alignment serving you, or is it hurting you? The first step to discerning the answer to this question, that question, is the alignment serving you? How is it serving you? And the Hatha helps us to move into the space to discern whether we're going too far, or we can breathe and expand and go a bit further than we imagined was possible, all while listening to the body. And feeling that breath moving through the body as you inhale and exhale, letting everything that's come before slip softly from the shoulders and melt deeply into the floor, and just let it go. Here, now. And on the next inhalation, after the next inhalation, we'll share an Om's. Inhale. Oh. 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 And feeling with these three Oms as their energies come together, merging, mixing, mingling, and meshing into an energy spiral of love and light spiraling upward. And feeling that energy reflected back down, enveloping us in warmth and light. Namaste. Thank you. So if anybody gets too cool during the class, I can re-engage the heat. If anyone feels it's stuffy and wants more air, I can open doors in a window. So please feel free to ask for what feels good. All righty. So I will have you come onto your back, and moving into the breath practice. This is the foundational breath practice. If it gets too cold, your arms feel too cold, we can lay out your blanket. You can put it like a T if you want, for your arms on the floor. Again, actually, I think I might. No, it is still holding at 74. Yeah, I will turn on the heat if it feels like it's needed. Can I get you a blanket or something? Mm-hmm. And begin to feel your body on the floor. Shall I lay it out on top of you or under you? Half bottom. That bottom half, your toes especially. Absolutely. And just let it go. Letting the feet be a good distance apart, maybe between a foot and 2 feet apart, so open. Letting your feet relax, which means the legs are relaxing in the hip sockets, so they're rolled outward. Now, if you have limitation going on in a hip, you may not feel them rolling outward like that, or one may roll out more than the other, depending on what's going on in the hips. Just allowing yourself to feel and see if you can relax and release in the abdomen, in your core, in your pelvic girdle, and just let it go. Feeling the legs sinking into the floor, and let it go. The arms are away from the sides. So particularly if you happen to have your hands, or you watch yourself and you notice that you tend to put your hands on your body, see if you can play with moving them away from the body in some manner. For some people, this is a few inches from the arms. Others might be raised all the way out. Whatever it is for you, we're opening ourselves in receptivity. And just let it go. Now feeling the arms touching the floor and feeling them grow heavy, and feel them sink into the floor. Bringing your awareness to the breath. Did you notice if you were breathing in and out both through the nostrils? Or did you notice yourself breathing one way or the other, or both through the mouth? An opportunity to notice patterns in the body, and to find what's in the greatest alignment to serve us for our highest good. There are moments when breathing through the mouth are advantageous for us. For now, we're breathing through the nostrils, noticing our challenge to breathe through them if that is so for us, noticing the easefulness if that is so for us. And see if you can feel your entire body relaxed, including your core, your abdomen, all your internal organs, which reside in the abdominal cavity. And then bring your awareness to your abdomen and notice if you feel the belly rising and falling. If you're having a challenge feeling the abdomen gently rising and falling of its own accord, not pushing necessarily, relaxing and releasing, you can exhale your right hand to your abdomen just to see if you can feel an actual movement of the body itself, If you're not feeling that movement, it can also help you to, I'll say, wake up to that area of the body so that you can feel the opportunity to relax and release. So the natural effort, this uncontrolled flow of the breath, allows the abdomen to soften as you inhale away from the body. It allows it to gently fall towards the spine as you exhale. We're going to move into the second stage of the diaphragmatic breath. You may have maybe heard it called three-part breathing or many other names. And see if you can feel the breath move up your body as you inhale. Now, if you're not able to actually feel that happen on its own, like a like a baby would be breathing, because they and we as well then naturally breathe this way. The breath fills up the body. If that is not happening, we can guide it with our intention. And by up the body, I mean on the inhale, the belly expands and then the rib cage rises, opens up. Exhaling, the rib cage falls and the abdomen falls. And seeing if we can breathe in this manner, gently and easefully, sending our intention for the breath to rise up the body. The next area we're going to go to is near the chest and up to the throat there. So if it feels good to you, you can exhale your left hand up to the chest. I like to feel the thumb as high up as I can towards that hollow in the neck. And then I like to rest my elbows onto the floor. So sometimes that means coming away from the center of my body. It all depends on each of our anatomies. And this way, I can feel my arms soften or give them the opportunity to soften without having to feel like I'm having to hold them up with musculature. While I feel this breath that fills from the base of the torso through the rib cage and up towards my chest. And I feel that breath return back down in my three parts, my full breathing. We call this deep diaphragmatic breath. So your diaphragm is a muscle that as you inhale, it comes up from from its resting point at the ribs, the base of the ribs there, and it pulls down into the abdominal cavity, creating that coming out of the abdomen. So if we're not holding our muscles tight, we can give it space and allow that abdomen to rise. And we feel that wave of the breath as it comes up and as it recedes back down. And now, if we've had our hands on our body, we can inhale and let those arms float back down to our sides. And see if we can continue feeling this diaphragmatic breathing in our bodies. and bring it to the back of the body. As you inhale, see if you can imagine the breath coming into the base of the spine, moving all the way up the spine, mirroring that movement in the front of the body and expanding the back as well. And on the exhalation, feeling that breath return back down. And on the next inhalation, bring your awareness to the hips and breathing into the hips. Feel the whole body filling. Exhaling, feel the entire body emptying. And now feeling the breath coming into the base of the spine, moving all the way up the spine into the shoulders, and the shoulders getting so full with the breath, it crowds right up into the neck, and the neck gets so full with the breath, it crowds right up into the base of the skull. And on the exhalation, feeling the back of the neck lengthening and softening, the chin moving towards the notch in the neck, creating a passageway for the mind to slip back down to the heart, returning to its source, and just let it go. So if you need to inhale, start your inhale or start your exhale before I've finished a description, please do so. I'm not wanting to see anyone turning blue or green in here. Yeah, and simply listen to the words and follow along with wherever you are in your breath cycle, because ultimately it's about the experience for you in your body, your unique manifestation of the divine. That's our body. And now bringing our awareness to the sides of the body, inhaling, feeling the breath now coming up and filling the sides of the body as well as the front and the back. And on the exhalation, can you feel the breath splashing over the armpits, draining down the arms and out the hands, and just let it go. On the next inhalation, feeling the breath coming into the hips, filling the pelvic girdle with the breath. And on the exhalation, feeling the pelvic girdle becoming soft, porous, and translucent, allowing the light of the divine to shine through you. Let it go. On the next inhalation, feeling the breath coming into the body, into the hips, the sides, the front, the back. How full can you feel the vessel filling with the breath? And on the exhalation, how empty can you feel the vessel become? And on the next inhalation, feeling the breath come into the body. And that's on the inhalation. If I said exhalation, on the inhalation, feeling the breath come into the body, but your body wisdom knew that already. And on the exhalation, feel yourself moving out in all directions, 3-dimensionally, 4-dimensionally, 5-dimensionally, simultaneously with no boundaries, and just let it go. And on the next inhalation, you're going to extend the legs if the knees are bent and activate the feet. So activating the feet means drawing the toes toward the ceiling, a 90-degree angle from the shin to the foot. And we're going to inhale the arms across the floor and above the head for a stretch. And on the exhalation, as gently and lovingly as possible, exhale the left knee towards your chest and reach up to cradle the left knee with both hands. If it's too much to have the right leg extended, then you can also bend the right knee. And sometimes, and if you're bending the right knee, then you're placing the right foot on the floor. And sometimes as you breathe here, you'll find that you can move the heel away by degrees and maybe even straighten the leg, and sometimes not. And it's okay to be exactly where you are. The challenge can be in not wanting to be somewhere else, further than our body is able to be today. So that's especially noticeable, for example, when we have injuries. We can remember, oh gosh, my body's been able to do so much more. And that thought of wanting it to be like that, or thinking it ought to be, or whatever, can be supplanted by breathing and feeling where we are and seeing if we can honor that place for the moment and be with it. Now, feeling your alignment. So I mentioned alignment is one of the key tenets here. If our alignment is such that our left heel is coming in towards our right leg, we may not be getting the maximum opening opportunity in our left hip. So if we bring that heel so that it's somewhat or more so coming in line with the midline of our left buttock, we're going to get a different experience. Not that it's bad or wrong to have the leg coming in. It's simply a different experience that is not as optimal for opening in our hips. Did our foot, either of them, fall asleep and relax so the toes are relaxed and pointed, or are we still flexed? Are we flexing with such force that we're creating strain in the body? If so, then we want to see what the experience of the words attention without tension is. What is that experience? Are we feeling like we're grabbing the knee and pulling it into our chest? Are we trying to pull our body off the floor? Or are we leaving our body relaxed on the floor, our shoulders relaxed, our hands draped on the leg, and we're cradling that left leg like a newborn child? Okay, we're going to shift with our breath awareness into spinal twist by inhaling our left arm, palm up, near shoulder height. It can be below if you have some impingement in your shoulder, that's fine. You can even bend the elbow and bring the hand to your waist. All of those are variations. We're going to inhale, bringing the right hand to the outside of the left knee. You're going to exhale the knee across the body as you come into a spinal twist. Now your left arm can come off the floor. This is fine. I like to play with my left knee and my left shoulder equidistant to the floor, and then as I breathe more breaths into the spinal twist, I feel those two areas finding their way to the floor. Again, in and out through the nostrils with the breath. You let the head roll into the twist. Feeling those feet activated, noticing with your consciousness when they go to sleep. And then on the next inhalation, inhaling the knee back up, you'll place that left foot on the floor as you come onto your back. And then let the left knee fall open. So your left knee is still bent. The left foot is somewhere alongside the right leg. And that somewhere is going to depend on your hip points. So you can reach down if you'd like and touch your hip points and see if they're out of kilter. And by out of kilter, I mean, are they parallel to each other? Or is one more towards the shoulder and one more towards the foot in that plane? Or is one more toward the ceiling and one more toward the floor than the other? So in that direction, feeling and you can adjust the left leg up and down, and you'll find if you do that, it will move those hip points. It will create a different alignment in the body. So it's feeling for yourself. And then breathing into this pose of pure receptivity. Complete surrender. Notice if you have a tendency to protect the self or any part of the self with the hands. Notice if you're drawn to reach down to a part of your body with your hands. Sometimes we feel over a space, or we are feeling tight, or we're drawn somewhere and our hands sometimes will go there. And breathe it. On the next exhalation, the knee will float back up to the center, and you can reach up and cradle the leg gently in the hands. Now, some people may have their hands wrapped all the way around their knee and their fingers interlaced. Some people can even go farther for that hold while still very gentle on the holding of the leg. Some of us need our hands behind our thigh. Some of us might even need a strap to feel our knee towards our chest without pulling. It's all good wherever you are. Is honoring that place in the moment. We're going to inhale and fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebrae with the breath. And on the exhalation, draw the leg away from you, straightening the arms and feeling the back starting to come off the floor, the head, the shoulders, the back, lifting with the heart. Now, there are some of us that can come all the way up. That's it. And bring your knee away from you as well, Jeannie. Yeah, and use that to feel your heart start to lift. Breathe your heart up through your shoulders. Breathe that heart up. That's it. Yes. And chin a little down, though. Chin, there you go. Beautiful. Sometimes it draws us further back, but that's fine. Relaxing the shoulders. And then as we inhale, yes, that's right. Drawing the body back onto the floor, keeping a hold of the leg, and gently coming back to the floor. And now we're going to slide the right hand down our shin. And why don't we start this one? Let's exhale and bend the right leg. Place the right foot on the floor. Reach down for the left ankle on top of your left ankle so your hand is over your leg. There you go. Right hand is over. Yep, you got it. And now we're going to exhale and breathe that heel. Let's see, that's your left heel towards your right ear. And open your left knee out. Good. That's it. And okay, so here's what we want to do. I'm going to guide your hands. There you are. Let go with the left. That's it. Okay. And here we go. Use your left hand right here where my hand is. Just gently on the knee. And now breathe away. Flex the foot. Where's the breath? That's it. Beautiful. There you go. And we're raising that shin towards parallel to the ceiling while we're breathing the knee away, and we're breathing it across. Where's the breath? Through the nostrils. There you go. Now, soften and back off just a little bit and breathe your left hip down and away. That's it. Beautiful. Feel that? Ooh, that gets in there, baby. Now, if we feel like we can do it, we can straighten our right leg. If this feels like enough for where we are today and we're challenged enough in the body, keep the right knee bent. That's good opening of the knee there, Chantal, more than you usually do. Breathe this left. I know, it's the left hip. Beautiful. That's it. Yeah. All righty. And now you're going to breathe that left foot down onto the right thigh. So it's going to be somewhere you can let your right hand drop that left ankle across your right thigh, keeping the knee open, and actually drop it right there onto it. If it feels like too much, that's fine. You can move the foot down the leg. That's it. And let's bring the ankle on top so that we can flex the foot. That's it. Nice. And now soften the knee towards the floor. Beautiful. Now, if this is super easy for you, you can also reach up with your right hand and bring that heel all the way up to your hip point. And then as you breathe the left knee down, it's coming down and in towards your right knee. If that's too much, please, you don't need to go there. You can stay with the leg, the left ankle somewhere along the right leg there, and breathe it open. And on our next inhalation, we're going to bring that left arm up and bring it, as we exhale our left foot off of the leg, we're going to bring our left hand inside the right leg, and your left hand's either going to be on your knee, your shin, your ankle, or outside your left foot as you draw the left knee back at a 45-degree angle from your spine, and the heel stacked on top of the buttock. That's it. Beautiful. Yeah, if you can do that 45 degrees that you were just at, Jeannie, that's ideal. Yeah, and you don't have to have it, and you've gone beyond 45. So be careful, because you have a lot of flexibility in your joints. So sometimes it's easy to go beyond what serves. Beautiful. And let's bring this down. There you go. Yeah. Beautiful. If you would care to, you can inhale your right arm across the floor and above your head, and anchor the right side with the breath. Beautiful. Where's the breath? In and out through the nostrils. On the next inhalation, we're going to inhale the sole of the left foot toward the ceiling with the knee down around your ear, call it. Bending the knee, and if you can, the shin at perpendicular from your thigh. Beautiful. Keep moving the knee outward, away from the body, shin towards perpendicular to the thigh. That's it. Good. If you can open up your left arm and reach around the other side, Javi. Yeah, so notice what happens in your shoulder. You can go back and play with that, and notice what happens in the shoulder as you change your hand, because what we're looking for is the openness in the shoulder, down and under and lifting through. Looks good, everybody. Okay, we're going to release the hand from the foot and joyously extend that leg toward the ceiling. Now, for some of us, that's a little too much to be able to hold the leg up there with our abdominals, so we can lower the leg, even if it's right down above the floor. What you want to look for is your knee straight, is both feet flexed, is the right leg directly underneath your right hip so that you're in alignment on that side of the body. All of this, and then we're going to breathe that left leg in the hip socket. It's a rotation of your hip so that you roll and the toes turn outward like a windshield wiper. They turn to the left. Exhale, roll that leg in the hip socket, and the toes point right. Good. Yeah. Okay, next time you inhale and the toes are pointed outward, let the leg come out and down and fall to the floor. So we don't want it so high up that we're going to be pulled over and our hip points pulled out of whack. I knew you were going there, but you can. Good. Yeah, and for you it's a little challenging because we've got this, because we want you to actually be able to touch the floor without the hip points. There we go. Touch the floor without the hip points rolling over. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And at the same time, this one is still alive. It's not the foot, but as much as, oh, I went too far, excuse me. There you go. So keep feeling that. Your challenge is, I'm not quite sure yet where. What's that? Yeah. Yep. Your tendency is to roll that way with this right leg anyway. So finding that place and where, and then as you got to a certain point, then I noticed the knee bends. So that's your sweet spot to play with. Inhale, extend the energy out through the left leg and draw that leg back toward the ceiling or low to the floor if you need for where your abdominals are, and breathe that range of motion. Inhale, rolling the toes open from your hip movement. Exhale, roll them, the hip closed, toes point to the right with your breath. Nice, really nice. Okay, our next movement is spinal twist. So we're going to bring both arms to shoulder height, palms up, extend and open those open those shoulders, blades apart, and then exhale the leg across the body into a straight leg spinal twist. If it's too much for you to have a straight leg spinal twist, bend that left leg. You're coming actually over to your left side, so it's fine to have the outer edge of your right foot touching the floor into that spinal twist. And then let the head breathe into the twist. Your head will roll to the left. Very nice. Extend through those arms and feel yourself breathing into the twist. When we diaphragmatic breath in a spinal twist, it really gives you a sense of that side of the body. And can you feel how that left hip and left shoulder move apart with the breath? And on the next inhalation, feeling the leg come back up to the center. And bringing the hands behind the leg. Inhale and fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebrae with the breath. And on the exhalation, feeling the breath, lift your heart off the floor, pressing the leg away from you into your hands. You can use that to help draw you up with that heart open and lifted. Nice, beautiful. Chantal is silent screaming over here. And on your inhalation, letting go of the leg and both arms from there and onto the floor into Shavasana. And taking a moment, breathing into Shavasana, letting that breath come in and out through the nostrils. Flooding your body and the cells in the body with clear oxygen and letting go of carbon dioxide and toxins. And feeling the left side of the body cradled and caressed open. Is there a difference between the left and the right side now? Noticing. And we'll move to the right side. So as you inhale, feeling the legs coming together and the arms coming across the floor and above the head, lengthening and feet flexed. Feet flexed. Exhale your right knee up towards the chest and gently cradle the right knee either behind the thigh or around the knee. Noticing what's gentle for you. Can you cradle this right leg like you would a newborn child? The Hatha Yoga helps us to get in touch. Get in touch with ourselves and that we are not broken and therefore do not need to be fixed. What is so is that we are perfectly poised in our lives to receive our life's lessons. And any lessons not learned in gentle, loving kindness are certain to be repeated. We're going to come into spinal twist here. Inhaling, the right arm comes out at shoulder height, palm facing upwards, so your right shoulder can roll down and away, opening up. And bringing the left hand to the outside of the right knee as you inhale, exhale, spinal twist. Let that right knee come down to the left side. And breathing your head into the twist. Feeling that right hip and right shoulder moving away both on the inhalation and the exhalation. We're going to inhale, breathing that right knee back up. Reach up and cradle wherever is appropriate for you. Inhale, filling the spine and all the spaces between the vertebra with the breath. On the exhalation, exhale, drawing that right leg away from you, straightening those arms, and let that draw the breastbone up, leading with your heart. The head, the shoulders, and even some of the back may come off the floor. Some of us can get all the way sitting. Just see where you're at. That's it. And then inhale, gently letting the back, the shoulders, the head return to the floor. And we'll move into the next pose by exhaling our left foot to the floor, bending the left knee. Slide our left hand down the right shin. And inhale that heel up so that you might have to cross over your knee, which is fine, but you're looking to have your shin parallel to the ceiling as you breathe the right knee away from you and across the body slightly. So if you can, You're bringing your right thigh in line with the right side of the body. Yeah. Yeah, Jeannie, that's it. Come across as well. Come across and keep coming if you're able, if it feels good in your body. Good. Yeah, this probably is a good pose, Javier, for helping to get into that space that was in that movement of to being bent, and it's coming across like this, only to the point where you're in line, and then keep flexing though around. Yeah, there you go. And your hand can be on top of here. It can be rest under here where my hand is, all kinds of places for this kind of half movement. And without the push, because that's, that's another very active. See if you can breathe it, but you can use your hands, your fingertips, your fingers there, your hands there to sort of feel it and see if the breath can guide that. Very good, everybody. Okay, you're going to straighten the left leg if you want, and then bring your right ankle on top of the left leg. So it's the ankle comes down on top, foot flexed, right foot flexed, and then drop the knee away. Good. Yeah. And again, if you're really open in this position, one can always bring their heel up to their left hip point. Oh, that knee didn't want that today. And then breathe the right knee down towards the left knee. Or we simply have it across. And you're breathing it open. Good. Keep playing with flexing that right foot, Jeannie, and come across more so that you're supported. Yeah, support it. That's it. You can keep coming. Yeah, good. Beautiful. All righty, we're going to move into the next pose, which means you're taking that right foot off of the leg. You're going to bring your right arm inside the leg and to the outside, either your knee, your shin, your ankle, or the outer edge of your foot, and draw the knee back at a 45-degree angle from the spine. Good. Bring your right hand down the inside to the outside. Beautiful. There you go. And watch this leg starting to roll somewhat. Good. Inhaling the left arm across the floor and above the head. Other left hand, yes. And anchor the left side with the breath. Watch your breath. Are you tending to hold your breath? Are you tending to exhale or inhale through your mouth? Good, everybody. That's it. And now keeping your knee, if you can, exactly where it is. Inhale the sole of the right foot up toward the ceiling and the knee down towards the floor. Half a dead bug. So you're still holding on and your knee is coming around your side without falling over. So the emphasis is this opens, and that's what draws you down this way. Feel that? Subtlety, beautiful. And keep breathing the knee out. Keep breathing it out. Beautiful. That's it. So if you're tending to roll, bring you back, soften. There you go. And then the shin up this way. Keep pressing that side down. That's it. So it's that play right there in between. Keep breathing it. There you go. Beautiful. And now you're going to release the hand and joyously extend that right leg toward the ceiling. And lower the leg as you need to keep the knee straight and breathe your range of motion. The leg in the hip socket. Inhale, rotate the leg in the hip socket, toes point right. Exhale, toes point left. Beautiful. Okay, this time you're going to inhale, open the leg, toes point right, and let that leg come out and down to the floor. Remember how I showed you on the other side, so that your hip points stay parallel to each other, to the floor, and let the outer edge of your right foot be moving towards the floor. Very nice. Noticing for you which is your more open side. Maybe you feel your right leg wanting to bend. Keep breathing the energy down the inside of that right leg as you feel it open. On the next inhalation, send the energy out the leg all the way down to that foot, and then exhale the leg back up to the center. And breathe your range of motion, leg in the hip socket, with your breath through your nostrils, as opposed to through my nostrils. There you go. Next time you inhale, toes are pointing out, arms out at shoulder height, palms up, and exhale the leg, straight leg if possible, across the body to the left side. Coming all the way over onto your left side so the outer edge of the left foot can touch the floor. And breathe your head into the twist. Beautiful. Softening into the twist. Feeling where you feel limited or stuck, and send the breath there. Right shoulder can come off the floor, so your right foot might be able to touch the floor, and then breathe into the twist. And on the next inhalation, inhaling the leg back up to the center, and reach up and cradle behind the thigh or down below the knee, whatever's right for you. Inhale and fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebrae with the breath. And on the exhalation, feel the breastbone float up towards that leg. The leg can move away from you into the hands, straightening the arms, feeling yourself rising up, leading with your heart. Beautiful, everybody. Inhale. And release the leg, the arms, the leg, everything returning to the floor. The head, the shoulders, or the shoulders and the head. And relax into Shavasana. You can wiggle it out if you feel like. You simply feel yourself sinking into the floor, and this time feeling the right side of the body having been lovingly cradled and caressed. Open. Just let it go. So we talked about last time that we had shortened this practice to 11:45, and it really, to get a full Shavasana after we finish the movements, we were going till just about 12, and if that doesn't work for anybody, please raise your hand right now. I will look and see. Righty. And on the next inhalation, activate the legs, drawing them together. Feet flexing, inhaling the arms across the floor above the head. If they don't make it to come by the ears, that's fine. And then as evenly as possible, exhale both knees towards your chest and reach up and cradle the knees with both hands. Now again, soft and gentle. That's it. Activating the feet, feeling how that shifts and changes. The experience in the body. And we're going to inhale and either crossing your left knee over your right knee or your left ankle over the right ankle. Either one is fine. we're going to, that was on the inhale, and then on the exhale, you're going to open up that left arm. Sorry, let me go back. Inhale your left arm to shoulder height, and you can do that simultaneously if you want with the legs as we get more adept at this. Your exhale is going to exhale the knees, if you can, first towards the chest and then down towards the right side into a spinal twist. That left arm is extended. You can release that left shoulder from the floor. You can touch your feet to the floor. And breathe into the twist, finding your place in this twist, letting the head roll into it by turning to the left. Inner gaze, if the eyes are closed, the inner gaze is extended beyond those left fingertips. On the inhalation, bringing the knees back to the center, we're going to uncross and recross. So now it's either right ankle over left or right knee over left knee. Inhaling the right arm to shoulder height. Exhale the knees, if you can, first towards the chest and then down towards the left side into spinal twist. Very nice. Letting the head roll into the twist by turning to the right. If your eyes are closed, the inner gaze is extended beyond the right fingertips. Inhaling the knees back up to the center and keep them crossed as they are, right over left. Extend your left arm at shoulder height and exhale the knees out and down to your right side. So we're going to have an extreme left hip twist. Yeah. And breathe it. Where's the breath? On your next inhalation, the knees will come back up and we're going to uncross and recross with left over right. Inhaling the, let's see, we just had which one did we go? Yeah, just switch your arms so that the other arm is out, and exhale the knees down to the left side into spinal twist. Right arm will be extended out. And you're getting an extreme right hip twist. Beautiful. Let the head soften into the twist by turning to the right. Inhaling the knees back up to center and then uncrossing the legs, having them side by side. We're going to breathe the knees down to the right side, one on top of the other. Let your left shoulder come off, press through that left hip and see if you can bring those knees one on top of the other. Inhale the knees back up to the center and together bring them down to the left side. Exhaling, letting that right shoulder come off the floor. And you can press through the right hip and really extend through so that the knees can be stacked one on top of the other, or moving in that direction. And inhale the knees back up to the center. And once there, open the knees out, bringing the hands down onto your shins, to your ankles, or around the feet. So bring the arms inside the legs and open the knees out. That's it. And then the hands over. Yeah, there you go. Soles of the feet coming together. There you go. If it's too much to grab the soles of the feet, we hold on to our ankles or our shins. And now from this position, breathe your sacrum onto the floor. Extend that sacrum. And now you're going to draw the shoulders down towards the floor and squeeze them up tightly towards the ears. Your knees are probably going to come towards your ears. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Exhale and release. Soles of the feet come together and the knees splay outward. Inhale, shoulders towards the floor. Squeeze them up tightly towards the ears. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Exhale and release. Soles together and the knees splay outward. Keep extending that neck nice and long. Inhale, shoulders towards the floor. Squeeze them tightly up towards the ears. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Exhale and release. The soles of the feet come together and the knees splay outward. And please allow the awareness to rest on the full, even flow of a deep diaphragmatic breath. Keep extending that neck nice and long. And we're going to move into dead bug pose. So hands onto the legs or the outer edges of each foot. Inhale the knees about where they are, soles of the feet toward the ceiling. And I'm sitting up, but I'm showing you if I were on my back, imagine that my back is the floor. And you're breathing those knees down toward the floor. Good. You want to roll the leg in the hip socket so that if you can, bring those feet parallel to one another without letting the knees stray inward. You may need to start with the knees straying inward a little bit and see if you can breathe them outward. Bringing the beautiful, there you go, bring the soles of the feet towards parallel. Very nice. Yeah, draw your feet in a little bit without your knees, Javier. Feet in, but not the knees. Feet in, leave the knees way out there. That's it. There you go. I know you can do the other. Now you get to play in this place. Good. And then we're going to let go. Keep your sacrum down towards the floor, Ms. Chantal, as much as you can. As you inhale, extend the legs up toward the ceiling, straightening the legs, straightening the legs. Keep those sacrums and lower back moving toward the floor, squeezing, engaging the core. And we're going to open the legs into a straddle. You can bring the hands up inside or outside the legs to support them, inside or outside. Press through the heels. Bring those toes towards your head. Press, 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 and then drawing the legs together. Inhale, bringing the hands behind the thighs. Inhale and fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebrae with the breath. And as you exhale, you can lower the legs and start drawing the head and shoulders off the floor. If you're one that can come into full boat pose, that's fine. Otherwise, coming up as high as your body will allow. Good, and then breathing it, come on down onto the floor. Release the feet, the arms, everything back to the floor. And we'll close it out with fish pose. So hands creating a diamond between your thumb and forefinger and placing that configuration way down on your sacrum, almost so your index fingertips peek out between your legs. Inhale those elbows in, chest up, and then drop the head back if that's an option for you, all the way to the floor for Fish pose. If you can bring your hands together, Jeannie, I suggest bringing them under your sacrum and actually supporting your body with your hands, if that's an option. There you go. Good. Deep diaphragmatic breaths. This is probably the hardest Hatha pose in which to experience and feel and maintain the diaphragmatic breath. So your best diaphragmatic breath in fish pose. Your most conscious, by best, I mean your most conscious diaphragmatic breath in fish pose. Up the body from the base of the torso to the top and down. And on the next inhalation, releasing the hands from underneath you and bringing the soles of your feet together, sending the feet a little ways away so you open up that diamond in between your legs, and bringing the arms either into cactus, or you can, if your elbows can rest on the floor, bringing the thumb and forefinger together into upward facing triple diamonds. You've got a diamond in the legs, diamonds in the arms, and diamond between the thumb and forefinger. Or you're moving in that direction. And relax and release the soles of the feet. If you can keep your metatarsals together, doesn't matter if your toes stay together. You want to have the toes relaxed, so wherever they are, whether they're touching or they're apart. The main thing is from your heel to your metatarsal is connected. Both feet are connected at those points. Upward facing triple diamond releases tension, anger, frustration, and anxiety from the being. It could be one of your poses that you utilize for self-care when you're feeling overextended or frantic or tense. 3 breaths, 6 breaths, 108 breaths. Upward facing triple diamond is your friend, can be your friend. And extending through the arms, extending through the legs. And exhaling both knees to the chest, we're going to reach up and cradle those knees and then bring the hands up. And this time we are, rather than the gentle holding, we're going to squeeze ourselves into the ball by exhaling our head to our knees, our knees to our head, toward our head, and rolling around. You can roll side to side, backward and forward, round and round, however you want on your back. And releasing the legs, let them come down, and you can either place the feet on the floor and drop the knees together, open the feet out and drop the knees together. You can extend the legs in Shavasana. You can place a blanket or pillows or something behind the knees to soften if it's difficult on the back. Arms on the floor, away from the sides, palms up, and just let it go. Moving into Shavasana for final relaxation, the mind and the body becoming still and quiet. He rouses himself. And just let it go. Om Vasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayam. We meditate on the Creator, whose divine light illuminates around physical, mental, and spiritual. May this divine light illuminate our intellect. Om Vasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayam. And bringing the awareness back to the breath, coming back into your body and wiggling the toes and the fingers, rotating the wrists and the ankles, and activating the legs, drawing them together, arms across the floor, coming above the head for one final stretch. And exhaling the knees towards your chest, rolling to your left side. And you can give yourself a hug with your right arm and hand. Let the head rest on the left arm and hand as you acknowledge yourself for coming today and putting your body on the floor in love of self. And gently coming back to a seated position. Let's open up the flesh on the sit bones once we're there. Inhaling and lengthening the spine. Exhaling and softening. Inhale again, we'll share an Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for coming and sharing your yoga, your energy, your love. Thank you for the donations which support the work, value the yoga. Respect yourselves and honor the divine. Namaste. Thank you all.